But yeah, so we're going to be going over the rejection block. So we're going to be going over this rejection block right here and why this rejection block is important. So as you can see, we've already tapped into it 3 times now. So the first tap right there, second tap here, and then third tap here. Now this one is the most important to me personally. The third one, the one that we just tapped into right now, because of this reason. So I mean, we all know the rejection block is a wick or is a basically a leg higher that sweeps liquidity, but it needs to have a significant wick, right? Now, if we take this wick and we take the 50% of this wick right here, right there, and we expand it to the right, as you can see, the only time we ever tapped into it was just recently, as of Friday. Well, Friday's high was essentially the tap into that wick, and notice how it's respecting it. We didn't close above it. So we're respecting this wick as of right now. Obviously, we can come back up and close above it and whatnot. But as of right now, as long as this wick is respected, I'm going to be pricing in lower prices. Now that takes us into our next imbalance or our next PD array, which is this 4-hour BISI that we just tapped into it, as you can see right here. We just tapped into it. So as long as this BISI holds, I'm going to say we are bullish. Now, once this BISI is disrespected, we can start pricing in lower prices. So we can price in maybe this internal sell side liquidity right here, which would be Friday's low, and then so on and so forth. But as of now, I'm going to be watching two things and two things only. The main one being this BISI, and the second one being the 4-hour or this wick consequent encroachment, the mean threshold of that. Besides that, very, very simple. Like literally keep it dumb simple this week. I mean, as you can see the economic calendar, tomorrow we have news at 10 a.m. So I wouldn't say it's a high probability day, but it's not a normal Monday. It would be a Monday with more volatile price action. So it could potentially be a good trading day, opposed to maybe a Tuesday with no news or a Wednesday with no news. So we'll see what goes on tomorrow, Monday. Monday is usually like the day I like to chill out, just see where Monday is headed, where it wants to draw to for the week. And the reason I think it's going to go down to this internal is because if you look at this leg higher, there aren't any 1-hour PD arrays. I mean, besides the 1-hour order block right here, this is technically a breaker right here, but the breaker doesn't overlap with a fair value gap, which is typically what you want to see on a displacement leg higher. You want to see a fair value gap. On this 1-hour leg higher, we don't have that. We just have a breaker, so we could potentially get like a short-term bounce here, probably come down back into this BISI, which turns into an inverse, and then keep heading lower. Something like that would probably be my high probability weekly setup. Now I'm just going to be watching this BISI. I do think we close below it, and I do think we come down to this internal. Obviously, if we respect it, then I'm going to be targeting previous week high. Maybe we make a high of week, and then we come down, something like that. But yeah, I mean, literally these are the only levels I have on my charts. I'm not going crazy with the levels. I'm not doing anything else. I just have previous week high and low. I have internal liquidity and I have the equal lows. Also mark out your 4-hour BISI. I also just noticed this. If we do zoom in here on the 1-hour, we are respecting a 1-hour bearish fair value gap right there, as you can see right there. So that does signify us respecting bearish PD arrays. So I'm not saying as of now we're gonna dump, but just keep that in mind. We're no longer respecting bullish PD arrays. We're having that change in the state of delivery. So besides that, man, super simple analysis really. I could do one for ES real quick. Um, I still have the previous week's ones, but so if I go on the weekly, okay, yeah. So the weekly, all right, the weekly rejection block was tapped into right there, that wick. We tapped into it. If we go on the daily, nothing much to see there really. The 4-hour, okay, same with the 4-hour if you trade ES. We just have that same BISI right here. If we close below this BISI, you would target this internal liquidity right here. Both ES and NQ have these equal lows, these relative equal lows here on Thursday. So Thursday 2 a.m. and Thursday 11 a.m. if I go to NQ, Thursday 2 a.m. has those same relative equal lows. So that could be a draw maybe for this week, maybe for next week, but just keep those equal lows in mind. Besides that, man, I mean, super simple analysis, really. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If not, I mean, we can call it a day. I'll post on YouTube and we can be on our way.